Hey guys, Andy here. Now, it might not come as a massive surprise to you to hear that I don't plan a lot of what I'm going to say. I haven't got any notes anywhere at the moment with a script. I just kind of have a rough idea what I'm going to talk about, so I just go for it. So the product that I've been sent wasn't one that I'd really considered. Well, I'd kind of considered it, but I thought, I don't need it. I prefer just to be able to talk about things. And basically, it's a teleprompter. So this company, well, one of my sort of suppliers, I guess you might call them, got in touch saying, would you like to try a teleprompter? Yeah, I suppose so. It's one of those things, I do like to make videos about the creation of my videos, I suppose, and the different things that I use. You might recently have watched the one about the acoustic paneling that I've put up recently. I sometimes do them on the microphones that I use and stuff like that. So yeah, I'll do a video on a teleprompter. Might be interesting. Is it something I want to use? Gives you a chance as well, I suppose, to say no. And I imagine most people can say no, don't do it. The reason you watch my channel, perhaps, maybe, is because I'm not scripted and I'm not sort of. It sounds a bit fake in some ways, but I'll do it shortly and we'll see how it sounds, I suppose. Anyway, for now, I guess let's take a look at what you get in the box. So we've got it unboxed. Let's get it set up. We'll remove the blanking plate, and there's various different ones now. The sponge I didn't want to push hard because it's quite a click that's needed to get it in. Then there's the tablet holder. Isn't particularly big. It's going to have to be a small tablet, so I shall use my Pixel 4, which is fine on the phone holder. And the phone holder attaches quite easily with the screw and screwdriver provided. In the instructions, I'm sure it says something about you can offset the holder, but I just couldn't see how I should do that. Because my concern being it's going to hold the volume down when it's held in the place, but never mind. Then you've got to find the right blanking plate. So I think my lens is a 58, so I found the 58 and screwed that on like a filter. Then you can snap it into place, and actually that's surprisingly sturdy. Let's get the app installed. If you search Desview, this app comes up, and this is the correct one. So go ahead and get that in place. It's a relatively simple app. You put a title, you put the text you want in, you save it, you select it, so you can store various different bits, and kind of off you go then. If we look at the menu, the options that you make the text bigger and smaller, you can change the speed. We definitely need mirror mode because we're going to be using the glass like a mirror to then read the text. As you can just about see, as I put it in to place, you can see the reflection on the glass there. And I'm going to press play, and I'm going to realise, this is really slow. And that's probably a little bit quick, but you can change the speed to whatever suits you. And then in comes the remote, which is actually quite handy because you can change the speed on the fly. You can jump forward and backward on the fly. So while you're using it, you can speed things up, slow things down. You can even go into the menu, navigate around using the trigger on the top. You can select different options, and then we can come back out again, trigger and trigger again to get it playing. It seems fairly simple to use the remote. Right, I'm all set up. I've got the camera attached to the teleprompt. Now, it's a little surprising in some ways. So I've got a sort of monopod that normally goes to the bottom of the camera to sit in front of me for filming. And if I leave it with the monopod on the camera and then attach the teleprompt, there's too much weight at the front and it will topple forwards. So actually I've screwed the monopod into the bottom of the teleprompt. There's different joins, connectors ready, different screw holes, ports, I don't know. So anyway, the teleprompt's attached to the monopod and then the camera is still attached to the back of the teleprompt. And although, no, I don't think it is leaning on the monitor, it's strange that it balances somehow like that. I don't know, but anyway, I'm not going to complain. And it's easy enough now, filming now. Hopefully you can't tell, I can see the text on there already. The only problem I have now is that I can't see myself. So normally I have the screen flipped around the side of the camera so I can check. You might catch me sometimes just checking perhaps, but you can generally see in the sort of, not even the corner of your eyes, quite there in front of me, just how well I'm framed. And at the moment I can't really see that. So that's the only downside. I have got a monitor screen that I could sort of plug in and have somewhere else that I could view if I really was that bothered. But anyway, so we're set up, ready to go. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see from behind me the text on the screen, but we're going to get things rolling. And I'm using Lorem Ipsum, and if you're wondering what that is, basically the text I've got is going to explain it. So what is Lorem Ipsum? Lorem Ipsum is simply dummy text of the printing and typeset industry. Lorem Ipsum has been the industry's standard dummy text ever since the 1500s, when an unknown printer took a galley of type and scrambled it to make the type specimen book. It has survived not only 5 centuries, but also the leap into electronic typesetting, remaining essentially unchanged. It was popularised in the 1960s with the release of letter set sheets containing Lorem Ipsum passages, and more recently with desktop publishing software like Alda's PageMaker, including versions of Lorem Ipsum. So why do we use it? It is a long-established fact that a reader will be distracted by the readable content of a page when looking at its layout. The point of using Lorem Ipsum is that it has a more or less normal distribution of letters as opposed to using content here, making it look like readable English. Many desktop publishing packages and web page editors now use Lorem Ipsum as their default model text, and a search for Lorem Ipsum will uncover many websites still in their infancy. Various versions have evolved over the years, sometimes by accident, sometimes on purpose, injected humour and the like. So there we go. That wasn't great because I mucked it up a little bit at the beginning. If I was doing this for you guys, I would record that again and be smoother reading through it. And not all of those bits of text have I read many times as well. So if you're reading something for the first time, it can be a bit, not robotic, it's not very natural, I suppose, because you're trying to put the inflection or the emphasis where you think, and then you realise that it's not. There's more to the sentence than actually the emphasis is going, I don't know, whatever, hopefully you know what I mean. And if I was writing it myself and I roughly knew what it was going to be, I think it's a bit easier. And if you read it 2 or 3 times, you get better each time you're reading it. So I don't know, what did you think? The bits when I've tested it myself, I can see my eyes reading the text, you're just slightly moving around. And I don't know, I guess it depends how good a job I did of reading it. Not so well initially there, as to whether you think it should be something I should use or not. I don't think I will use it much, apart from what I like the idea of. So sometimes when I'm doing phone reviews and I have all the specs of the device, I have to kind of read it off a text document on my computer screen. Okay, so this has got the Snapdragon 865 chipset, it's got the Adreno 640, and it'd be better actually if I've got it on the screen, literally on the teleprompt there, that I can read, so this has the Snapdragon 865, it's got the Adreno 640, and then I can just kind of skip forward and backwards and on to the next point and have all my prompts literally on the camera rather than sometimes, I don't know. So I guess let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'd be interested to know. If you're watching this because you're thinking of getting one, this one, £107, and it was sent to me for free. Hands up, no, I'm not going to lie. But at the same time, I don't think I let that affect my view of these things. So I would probably say, is it essential? No, far from it. But for some people, it might be more useful than others. Some people might not be able to just read naturally, and therefore, obviously, a very bad idea. But I actually quite like it. I think it's going to have some really good uses going forward. It'll be interesting to see how much I do use it, because it's not much of a faff to set up, if I'm honest. You've just got to take I normally have this on the front of the lens, take that off, screw on the adapter, slot it in, move the thing, and I'm kind of there. Like I said, the only thing being because I can't see my screen, but I could work something out. I can even page it through into my computer screen if I wanted, actually, thinking about it. So yeah, I'd just be interested to hear what you think, if you think I should use it or not, and things like that. If you're watching because you do your own YouTube videos, I have done various other videos, like I mentioned a bit earlier, so maybe have a bit of a rummage around checking out some of my other videos. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. But for now, my name's Andy, and I'll catch you all again soon.